We had, in the first quarter of 2023, over 63,000 volunteers registered in our Fairfax County portal. Think about that, 63,000 people who are registered to volunteer in one fashion or another in the county. Now, that might be a few hours, that might mean every day. But that's a lot of people who are stepping up, and those are in our Fairfax County portal. That's not even talking about all the nonprofits, the religious organizations, the school volunteers, all the other people that are involved in our community. That's just the number of people registered in our county portal. And to put a dollar value on that, which is almost impossible to do, but I asked because I wanted to know, what is the economic value? We know what the moral value is. What is the economic value? And in 2019, our volunteers donated over 1.8 million hours of volunteerism to Fairfax County. And what that means, that equates to $50 million in value in terms of services given back to our community. Think about that for a moment. $50 million in value through those volunteers. And we know during the pandemic we lost a lot of volunteers for very good reasons, where people couldn't do some of the things that we wanted. But even in 2022, we had over 815,000 volunteer hours during a really tough time that equated to $25 in value. So we're heading back up to where we were pre-pandemic, and it's important that we think about it in terms of value as well, because we are able to do so many more things for our residents because of our volunteers. We are able to serve our community better because of our volunteers. And so on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I want to congratulate everyone who is here today, particularly those listed in the program, our community champions this year, but really the 63,000 people who are in our county portal, who many of them right now are volunteering in some way, shape, or form to make Fairfax County a better place for all of us. So we celebrate all of them as well here today. And so I have a short proclamation, and I don't normally read these, but I was told I have to. So bear with me, but it is short. At the end of this, if the members of the Board of Supervisors who are here could come up and join me up here for a photo with the folks at Volunteer Fairfax, I would appreciate that. Whereas volunteer service is an essential part of a strong, inclusive, and vibrant community, and whereas in this diverse and growing community, we honor the unique and varied experiences of each person who calls Fairfax County home, and whereas volunteers serve with an open heart and mind, they desire to learn and seek greater understanding about the root causes of issues facing our community, and whereas it is important for us to recognize and to celebrate the essential good in volunteers who give generously of their time, enormous talent, and energy and service to our government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and schools. And whereas Volunteer Fairfax has supported building better communities through service for nearly 50 years, and today we recognize volunteers across the county at this 31st annual Fairfax County Volunteer Service Awards ceremony, now therefore be it resolved that the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, on behalf of all residents of Fairfax County, does hereby proclaim May 10th, 2023 as Volunteer Recognition Day in Fairfax County, and encourages all members of the community to celebrate the good in people, to honor the countless volunteers who have dedicated themselves to this important and necessary work, and to support volunteerism in our community. Congratulations to all of you.
All right, thank you, Chairman McKay, for the reading of the proclamation. At this time, we will recognize the volunteer leaders in our community, starting with the 10 community champions. Each champion is selected by the supervisor in their district. These community champions represent outstanding leadership in volunteerism. We are pleased to honor them today. I'd like to call each district and have the supervisor and their champion join me on stage as I read the announcement. Then I'll have the supervisor hand the award to their champion, and we'll get a photo here on the stage and then exit. So first up, I have the at-large community champion. This champion volunteers with the Fairfax County Police Department as a volunteer in police service, or VIP. She supports several programs, including the Community Police Academy, Police Leaders of Tomorrow, Teen Police Academy, and Future Women Leaders in Law Enforcement. She is always looking for opportunities to learn and to enhance her own skill set. She seeks opportunities to improve Fairfax County Police Department's outreach and programming, and thereby to strengthen the relationship of the police department with the communities they serve. Selected by Chairman Jeffrey McKay, I am pleased to announce Tanya Micah as the at-large community champion. Next is Drainsville District. Our next champion has spent over 40 years in science education, leadership, and environmental management. She is a co-founder of Nova Outside, an alliance of Northern Virginia educators who strive to connect people of all ages with the natural world. She also serves as co-chair of Nova's Outside signature event, the Student Environmental Action Showcase. This community leader shares her content expertise to support many causes, including serving on the leadership board for the Virginia Association of Environmental Education, serving on the Joint Environmental Task Force, and working with the Virginia No Child Left Inside Coalition to improve state education policy for science and environmental education. She is also a volunteer with the Fairfax Master Gardeners and the National Wildlife Federation. Selected by Supervisor John Faust, I am pleased to announce Elaine Tolan as the Drainsville Community Champion. Next up is Hunter Mill District. Next up is a volunteer who continuously steps up to answer the call to serve young people, support the arts, and to provide community building. He has spent 20 plus years supporting the Fairfax County Park Authority.
It's the authority.
It's the authority.
Every time you say authority.
This mic does not like authority.
No.
He has spent 20 plus years supporting the Fairfax County Park Authority.
There we go. All right.
18 of which he served on the Park Authority Board. His leadership has shepherded many achievements for the Fairfax County Park Authority, including adopting the One Fairfax policy, a racial and social equity policy that commits the county and schools to intentionally consider equity when making policies or delivering programs and services, a policy he pioneered, by the way. For the Reston Community Center, he was integral.
Careful now.
New batteries.
We just wanted to keep you up here
That's all
longer.
right.
That's all
That's
right.
all right.
For the Reston Community Center, he was integral in raising funds to build the Nature House in Reston, a LEED Gold facility, and establishing the nonprofit organization Friends of Reston. In addition, this leader has served as president of the Reston Youth Baseball, assistant district administrator of Little League Baseball of Northern Virginia, and selected to serve on Project Gold, a United States Olympic Committee. Please help me in congratulating Bill Bowie as the Hunter Mill Community Champion, selected by Supervisor Walter Alcorn. Next up is Sully District. Our next champion is a group that's being recognized today for their commitment to community building and environmental stewardship efforts. Since forming just 3 short years ago, they have developed new and engaging park activities, built awareness about events, and engaged the community as volunteers, protectors, and supporters of Eleanor C. Lawrence Park. They created a beloved and enduring community event, Parktoberfest, now in its 3rd year, featuring live music, food, and local vendors. And just this year, they started a Friends Scholarship Fund based on Nature for All to help improve access to the parks for field trips and a variety of other community programs. Selected by Supervisor Kathy Smith, I am pleased to announce the Eleanor C. Lawrence Park Friends as the Sully Community Champion and welcome Jennifer Grinnell, Board President, to accept this award on their behalf. Woo! Next up is Providence District. Our next champion co-founded the Oakton Pantry in 2016 and continues to oversee its daily operation to serve in many roles, including organizing volunteers, communicating with donors, coordinating the annual Thanksgiving meal and holiday wish lists, programs, and countless other everyday tasks. The pantry provides food, household items, toiletries, school supplies, and other essentials. Due to her tireless efforts, this extremely important, heavily utilized resource helps to meet a variety of community needs and provides for Oakton High School students, their families, as well as the larger Oakton community. Selected by Supervisor Dalia Palchik, Jackie Chiquette is this year's Providence District Community Champion. Our next champion answered a call from the Braddock District Council of Community Associations for a volunteer webmaster. This volunteer stepped in with the skills and eagerness to get the job done. She set up a new website from scratch, created an attractive, informative, and user-friendly site that makes communications between the supervisor and the 165-plus HOA, COA associations in the district much more effective. It is through her contributions that the Braddock District Council's Strategic Communication Plan has started off with a solid foundation. She also holds several other volunteer leadership positions in the community, including serving on the Kings Park Civic Association and as PTA president at both Kings Park and Kings Glen Elementary Schools. Selected by Supervisor James Walkinshaw, Charlotte Hannigan is the Braddock District Community Champion. Next up is Springfield District. Our next champion became a leader through acts of exceptional generosity and kindness. From the first time he delivered meals to Inova Fair Oaks Hospital emergency room workers, he witnessed their true gratitude and knew he wanted to do more to care for those on the front line who were caring for us. And so he did. He delivered over 40,000 free meals over the course of the pandemic to support frontline workers. Not satisfied with keeping the meal train going just to Inova, he expanded his reach to include all area hospitals, police departments, mental health care workers, 911 dispatchers, veterinarians, sheriff, and Virginia State Police departments. We are so pleased to recognize here today Sal Speciale, selected by Supervisor Pat Harity as this year's Springfield Community Champion. Next is Mason District. Our next champion has lived in the Colmore Bailey's Crossroads neighborhood since childhood. and is affectionately known as the mayor. He quietly volunteers many hours to improve the quality of life for residents in his community. He keeps a watchful eye on his neighbors and is there to help with everything from a computer glitch to solving large-scale issues of road safety and parking problems. When overparking on neighborhood streets presented access challenges for his aging neighbors, he went to work on expanding the existing Colmore residential permit parking district and spent years working with neighbors to ensure compliance. And when aggressive driving and stop sign violations in his neighborhood became a daily occurrence, he collaborated with local police enforcement to stem it, improving pedestrian safety within and beyond his neighborhood. We are so pleased to announce Mark E. Tonkovic as Mason Community Champion, selected by the Honorable Penelope A. Gross, Mason District Supervisor and Vice Chair of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. Next up is Mount Vernon District. It started with a small food drive to teach their young children how to serve neighbors during the pandemic, but the overwhelming outpouring of support and generosity from the community inspired this husband and wife team to create the Be the Good Project, a grassroots-fueled nonprofit that connects volunteers with safe, easy ways to help feed their neighbors. Today, Be the Good Project offers 3 volunteer opportunities: make seasonal non-perishable care packages, make sandwiches for the homeless, and fill the little free food pantries with non-perishable food. Since July 2020, its volunteers have donated more than 52 tons of food, 107,000 sandwiches, and $44,000 in grocery gift cards to help thousands of local families. Please help me welcome the Marchand family, this year's Mount Vernon Community Champion, selected by Supervisor Dan Stork. And our last district is Franconia. Our final champion began volunteering as a youth baseball coach in the early 1960s and became an advocate for increased opportunities and facilities for the youth of the then Lee District. The Pioneer Baseball League expanded to almost 100 teams during his tenure and was an early leader in T-ball for the very young. After retiring, he began a new career as a community organizer, serving first as a member and then as president of the Rose Hill Civic Association. He was named the lead district representative of the Fairfax County Park Authority in 1971. He served as champion in 1974 and 1975. During his time on the Park Authority, Fairfax County experienced phenomenal growth in parkland acreage. In December of 1975, he was appointed as the lead district representative of the Fairfax County Planning Commission, where he established a district advisory committee, an ad hoc citizens group that continues to advise the Planning Commission and Board of Supervisors on local planning and zoning issues. Chosen by Supervisor Rodney Lusk, please welcome Carl Sell, the Franconia District's Community Champion. Congratulations to this year's cohort of Community Champions, and thank you for your commitment and service to Fairfax County and the metropolitan area. Please join me in another round of applause for these phenomenal winners. Along with the community champions, the Fairfax County Volunteer Service Awards is also the time where we recognize the contributions and achievements of an individual volunteer and program connected with the Fairfax County government. Chosen by a panel of county leaders, the individual and volunteer program winners show extraordinary commitment to volunteerism and exemplary service to the county. First, we have the individual county winner who volunteers with the Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT. You know we love a good acronym. This volunteer is known to dedicate long days to course development, research, material procurement, and whatever else is needed to support CERT programs. His experience and insights produced the first advanced first aid class aligned with and vetted by Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department. This has allowed CERT to send these highly trained volunteers to attend and support community events, bringing enhanced first aid skills to fill the gap until professional help can arrive. This volunteer brings an unsurpassed combination of passion, knowledge, and enthusiasm to his work, and it's contagious. Please join me in congratulating Wayne Vick as the Fairfax County Individual Volunteer Winner. He's here with Jeffrey Katz, Volunteer Liaison for CERT. The next volunteer program winner for the county might be very familiar to you. With nearly 15,000 volunteer hours logged in 2022 and almost 200,000 hours logged since their inception in 2003, this program has played a critical and enduring role in Fairfax County. The program trains and organizes teams of volunteers to assist their families, neighbors, and coworkers and other community members during emergencies when professional responders may not be immediately available to provide assistance. Training is free and is offered to all county residents. The program began in 2003 with one class and about a dozen students. Today, it serves hundreds in the community through free in-person basic training and free continuing education classes on a broad range of topics from CPR, first aid, traffic. Last year, they supported over 61 community events, serving an important role to ensure seamless support when the unexpected happens. Jeffrey Katz is our volunteer liaison for the Fairfax County Community Emergency Response Team and this year's County Volunteer Program winner. Well, we have one more award to present, which is a very, very special award. But before we do that, I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining me this afternoon as we celebrate not only the good in our community, but we are also honoring, elevating, and celebrating good people doing good in our community. And for our final and very, very special award, I'd like to invite Majean Deem, Director of Programs and Operations with Volunteer Fairfax, to join me on stage to recognize the recipient of this very, very special award.
Thank you, Dawn. And please join me in thanking Dawn for guiding us through this ceremony. She did a fantastic job. Even with a mild failure, you still have such voice, such grace. So Volunteer Fairfax established the Amplify Award last year in recognition of the 30th anniversary of the Volunteer Service Awards. This award recognizes an individual or organization who is a partner of Volunteer Fairfax and has gone above and beyond to support us in carrying out our mission. This year's winner is a partner with the county who helped us through a moment of transition. For 2 years, since the start of the COVID lockdowns, Volunteer Fairfax was without permanent brick and mortar headquarters. Our previous space was being used to support critical healthcare needs. So, when it came time to move back into permanent space, this partner helped us secure us a new home. Volunteer Fairfax's new office welcomes us into the future, allowing us to host nonprofit partners to do service projects, run trainings, and other events. I'd like to welcome Alicia Seard McCormick, Deputy County Executive for Administration, to accept this award.
Thank you all for joining us this evening and celebrating the good in our community. What we saw today are examples of the incredible impact individuals and groups can have in their communities when they do good. I challenge all of us to name and claim the good that we can bring into our own spheres of influence. This looks different for each of us. For inspiration, I'd encourage you to explore opportunities in our volunteer database, Volunteer Now, for ways to support local nonprofits and agencies. This new system is fully integrated with the county, easy and intuitive to navigate, and full of terrific ways to get out there and volunteer. I'd also encourage you to explore Points of Light's Civic Circle, which points out the influence our time and resources can have in our community. For more information about the Civic Circle, as well as Volunteer Fairfax programs, please visit our website, volunteerfairfax.org. There's a QR code with a link to our website right on the back of the award program on your tables. And there's also a QR code right on the tables that link directly to the donation page, where you can support our work. In just 1 year from now, we hope to see many of you back here, celebrating the spirit and impact of volunteerism with us as we celebrate our 50th anniversary. Our final ask for everyone is to practice recognizing the good around us and celebrate that with thoughts, words, and actions. And thank you again for being here and for all you do. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.